Hi there, and welcome to this presentation of the SD9, SD90, and SD40. As earlier mentioned, we are working on a series of videos to educate the users out there and potential customers about the power of this series of line of instruments new from KETRON. And we at KETRON USA are trying to make it a lot easier for you to understand what the machines can actually do. So in this particular part of the video, we're going to talk about a couple of features put together. Live modeling, we're going to talk about that, voice assignments, and also automatic fills. So let's start with modeling. So I'm going to pick a style here. I picked the 16 ballad 2, and normally the style sounds like this. So that's, playing basic chords in a range of E. Okay, that's a range of A, a lot more subtle. Now, what is live modeling? Creating a style is very, very difficult. And so what KETRON have done is they've actually given you style elements, style parts. So for an example, you have tons of bass lines, tons of guitar lines, tons of drum loops, audio loops, and grooves, which you can bring into any part of your style. And that's what they mean by live modeling. You also have the capability of bringing in live audio drums, live bass, and live guitars. That's why it's called live modeling on the SD9. And on the SD4, SD7, it's referred to as just modeling. Okay, so modeling, you see the different parts in there. There is no actual audio streamed component in the SD40, SD7. But on the SD9 and SD90, you have live modeling because you can also model live drums, live audio drums, and bass, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's talk about that. So I'm going to modify, not the entire style, but just to give you an idea. I picked the 16 beat. You heard how it sounds like. Let's just say, for an example, I want to go in there and modify the bass line. I'm going to go into live modeling. And now you notice that the parts in pink, these are your existing tracks of the style. So just to tell you what this is, if you go to view, these are the same thing, okay? You have your drummer, that's the volume. Second drum, which is a groove, that's the volume. The bass, that's the volume. The two lower parts, which I've turned down for this demonstration. And the 5 chord parts, okay? So if I go to the modeling screen, which is right here, I have the same thing. The live drum, LD, standard drum, DR, and the groove. These 3 are all your drums. So you have 3 different kinds of drums. Your bass, chord 1, 2, 3, and 4 are empty. It says free. Chord 5, and you have lower and upper, and the live guitar. So you actually have 12 tracks that you can actually use within a given style. Okay, so without much ado, let's look at it. Let's try and model the bass. So this is what the bass sounds like. I can turn the bass on and off right there. If it's pink, it's on. Let's say I want to model that bass. I'm going to touch and hold that for 2 seconds. And you have this screen over here. Now it gives me different bass types in the different categories. So let's say I want to add like a nice funk bass line. I want to replace that bass with a funk line. I'm going to go into my funk. And you have to just play around and listen to it. I pick up the third one, for example. Let me turn off the other parts, okay? The drum and the chord. You hear the bass? That's cool. Bring the other parts in. Okay, so now get out of there. That's the new bass, okay? I can go in and I can change the volume right there. You can stand out a little bit more. Now, I can always go back to the original bass, okay? So I got funk number 6. If I hit original, that's the bass line that we actually started with. Okay? So I'm gonna go back in now. Hold it 2 seconds, go into funk number 6. Now, that's just the bass of Arranger A, okay? Now, let me go to Arranger B. We still have the factory bass in there. I'm gonna go in there, and maybe in this instance, I want to change the live guitar, okay? So that live guitar is right now an acoustic guitar. I want to change it. Touch it and hold for 2 seconds, and it gives me this opening. I want to get out of that group. I want to go to the electric. And I want to pick a nice one right here. make it a little bit louder. Wow. This is very interesting indeed, right? Now let me change the bass in here as well. Go in there, touch the bass for 2 seconds. Maybe I want to put a Latin bass this time at that point. I'm gonna go in here and see if I can pick something pretty interesting. Let's see. Let me pick a rumba bass. There you go. Make that a little bit louder. Sometimes less is more, right? So variation A. B. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll just leave it like that. But you can actually change A, B, C, and D. So how do you put everything together now? Okay, I'm going to go to my other thing, which was my style. And normally, when you press the fill, if you go in here to where it says fill to arranger, normally it's off, okay? So that means that when I press the fill, it does the fill and it stays right where it's at. If I do a fill to arranger and I press the fill, it'll skip, which means that all I have to do is press one button, fill, and automatically after the fill, it will skip to the next arranger. Autofill means that if I am playing the arranger and I press the variation, it'll do a fill automatically and then go to the variation. Okay, fill automatically and then go to the variation. So sometimes it's nice to have both of those on because it frees you up from having to press 2 different buttons when you're performing. Of course, you can also assign them to pedals, or in page 3 of 3, you can assign even more things over here as well. So we're done with that. So how does this come together? Let me just try and play a tune. I'm just going to make something up, all right? This is our new style. So if you notice, here I have the new bass, here I have the new bass and the new guitar. So what am I going to do? I'm going to start with variation B, and I'm going to bring down the drums, bring down the bass, and start with just my chords, all right? And let's just make something up. I'm not going to use any of the intros of the style engine. I'm going to use a count in, and that allows me to, like a drummer would do, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just play something subtle like this. So there you have it. And you notice I did something interesting, right? I have an AJAMSONIC voicer called sax, flute, and brass. So you can actually split the keyboard up into different layers. So down here I have a sax. In the middle I have flute. And over here I have a brass section. The good thing about this, and not all arrangers can do this, okay, is I can actually play a note, okay? And while I sustain that and while I hold it down, I can play and hold that down and, okay? So I got 3 different instruments and they're all being controlled and triggered independently thanks to the massive polyphony that the KETRON has.